do when I'm on scene, I'll be assuming Caroline Street Command. I got a 2.5-story wood occupied multiple dwelling. I got heavy fire from the second floor Charlie side. I have an exposure on the Delta side. We have one line stretch not in operation yet. Primary searches are underway. Status of the fire is doubtful. One passing command. I'm on the first line. Service speed advised. We're on scene. 2-story wood frame. I got heavy fire from the Alpha side.
Welcome back, fans of the Volley Chief podcast. I am your host, David Lenart, and this is season 3, so welcome. We're going to have a very different, exciting season coming up. So I'd like to take a little bit and just do a summer recap, talk about what went on over the summer, and see where we're going for the future. Recap of the summer. Big things for me. Up in summers, obviously, we took delivery of a new ambulance, which will replace our oldest ambulance. So we currently operate 3 ambulances. We rotate them about every 5 years or so. And we keep 2 of them in the main firehouse. The third ambulance, or the spare ambulance, is kept at an auxiliary building that we have a couple blocks up the street. It's actually the original firehouse in town. So took delivery of the new ambulance from New England Fire Apparatus in North Haven. A very smooth process, great company to work with. If you have in the New England area a need for apparatus or a Polaris, I would definitely check them out. The other part of the summer excitement up there is we're in the process of the finished build of a light rescue vehicle. So we're going with the Schwab Wagon Company. They're out of New York, building us a small, light, tactical unit rescue. I call it a light rescue. I think it's going to be very good for the department. It's going to give us the ability. Right now, we operate in my part of the state service trucks. So pickup trucks with cabs are called service vehicles. So we operate a service truck that kind of has all stuff in it, right? Like where you don't know what to do. Our rope equipment, some barricades, road closure signs, pumps for service calls. And we've decided to replace it with a little bit more of a custom-made body. Very, very simple company to work with. Once again, Chief Thode, in his apparatus wizardry, put us onto the Schwab Wagon Company. Danbury Fire has one. They basically just take, they're making stock bodies. So they have a couple. If you go on their website, you look at their catalog, and bam, stock bodies. You throw one on. And you just pick, like, which style do you want, 1, 2, or 3, and some modifications. So that's pretty simple. Very exciting, though. With that, the town actually did give us a good investment of equipment. So for the vehicle, we were actually able to purchase a good investment of equipment to completely equip it. So we're talking all new rope equipment. We're going to put extrication equipment on it with some hydraulic tools, meters, a thermal camera, dumb hand tools and stuff like that. But it was a big investment by the town, so the members are very excited. The equipment's been ordered. Thanks Mike Lombardi, who I'm going to talk about in a minute. He was handling that for us through Firematic. So orders placed for that. That was kind of the big issues over the summer, the big events, if you will. A quiet summer, as always, a lot of accidents, a lot of stuff like that. Nothing really needing to write home about, if you will. So we're here, right? It's our freelancing episode, as I call it. Those are the episodes of just me. This is just me getting back into the swing of things after the nice summer off. Spent most of the time by the pool, nice cruise, that kind of stuff. So what do we have coming up? So a couple guests that are already booked. One of my first guests, Chris Realstone. Chris joined the Derby Fire Department right before me in the 93, 94 time frame. He's been a long-time member in Derby, but we decided to have a kind of a show to go back, to our roots and talk a little bit about the mid-'90s when we first joined, the end of the three-quarter boot era, in the beginning of technology in the fire service. Chris was captain of the Storms. His son is now a member. It's very difficult. Chris's nickname, right? We all got nicknames in the files. Chris's nickname is Peanut. So it's very hard for me to keep referring to him as Chris. But Peanut, and then his son, Cashew, as you can see where we went with the nicknames there in the family. So we're going to have Chris on the show to talk a little bit again about the end of the three-quarter era and what it was like for us coming up in that. Another listener we're going to have on is Jeff Crosby, affectionately referred to in our circles as Bing. He's on the job now in North Andover, Massachusetts, but he's going to come on and talk a little bit about his company. They build custom UTV uh, inserts, I guess you call it, for the back of a Department UTV. So we're going to have him on talk about that. I'm also going to have Chief Ed Begani of the Summers Fire Department. He was a chief in the 90s. Come on, talk a little bit about, again, what it was like back then trying to run a volunteer fire department. I brought him out of retirement. I just have a weird situation coming up where most of my upper command staff is going to be on vacation. So I'm going to have him come back out of retirement to be an acting chief to cover a little bit of uh, the volume while my other chiefs are on vacation. So that'll be fun. And then, as I mentioned earlier, Mike Lombardi, Chief Lombardi, formerly the Seymour Fire Department, now Making Space Extrication. You may know him from social media for his work. Going to have him on, talk a little extrication uh, and the programs that he offers. Excellent, excellent extrication instructor, especially in the New England area. If you're looking for somebody, he's really good making space extrication. He'll be on. A couple other things this summer with training that we did that I kind of alluded a little bit to beefing up our training. So I gave my officers homework. Right? How does that go over? I'm making my officers complete homework assignments and do homework. So one of the things that we did was I obviously I like to do uh, homework for not homework but officer development, but I like to give them some assignments throughout the year just to keep them thinking, keeping on their toes. So I issued this yesterday, and it was broken up by rank. So rank as in the lieutenants, the captains, the chiefs, the safety officer, the EMS lieutenants and captains all have their own little short scenarios, and then they're with that they're tasked with coming up with their responses and their answers to these scenarios. So just for an example, for the EMS lieutenant, you're dispatched to a multi-patient incident at a high school football game. You currently have an overwhelming of patients due to bleacher collapse. You arrive on scene with one ambulance, two EMTs. The fire department's still en route. There's multiple parents yelling for help. Someone is filming the scene. So the four scenarios or four questions I'm asking is, identify your immediate actions and priorities. Describe how you'll establish medical command and communicate back to dispatch. Determine how you organize your crew for patient care and crowd control, and explain information that you'd relay to responding units. So that's the EMS lieutenant one. Safety officer scenario is incident risk management. You're at the scene of a structure fire. The crews are operating on the roof, conducting vertical ventilation. When you notice that it is a bowstring truss and you can see some significant bowing, you know that command is not aware of these conditions. Conditions are deteriorating. So how do you determine your findings to the command and crew? Explain your role in balancing safety but operational objectives, and outline your corrective actions and what follow-up would you give after an incident. I just think it's something to let everyone keep thinking. It's kind of a little bit different. I give everyone about a month. I give them until almost the end of November to do this. Last year, I assigned them videos out of or not videos, but homework assignments through the National Fire Academy. If you go on there, there's officer development programs, and you could assign them videos or different online classes to do. So I thought this year I would break it up a little bit and do kind of these homework scenarios, if you will, and see how they go. I've already had two of the officers get back to me with them, and I think it was a good idea. A little bit of officer training, but at their own pace. They have their own. There's no when they have to do it. So that was something we did this summer. The other thing I rolled out recently for the department was I rolled out, instead of for training, I it's very difficult, especially for my flipping the page, right, for my career guys to establish training. And I know, I'll be honest, at first when I started working there and guys were like, well, it's tough for us to do training because of our daily volume. And I thought to myself, like, coming from a big city where we're running, we still manage to do it. But it is when you have a handful of guys on duty, when you only have 2, 3, 4, 5 guys on duty, and you're trying to run calls, handle fire marshal, handle all the other operations of the fire department, vehicle maintenance, you do an equipment check, something's not working, you're trying to figure this out. The day gets away from them very quickly. So in an effort to keep both them and the volunteers on task, I decided to issue a task book. And my thought process was, we've spread it out over 6 months. So there's 25 tasks, which really equates to about one task a week that they have to accomplish in the book. And I'm a fan of task books. We towards my end of my time in Bridgeport on the rescue there, we were talking about doing them for. We were doing them for our shift. We had them for rope rescue. We had them for a couple of technical disciplines, and I'm a fan because it's a great roadmap. I think where you can go wrong in a task book is being too specific or pigeonholing them, if you will, into doing something a certain way. So it's broken up into 6 parts, with part 6 being a little bit of potpourri where you can kind of do what you want. But the first part is just fire attack. So their first task in the task book is to simply deploy and advance a primary inch and 3/4 attack line into a structure. I thought a lot about the wording. I didn't want it specific. I wanted to give the crews doing the training and the officers leading the training, the ability to have somewhat of a freelance attitude, or somewhat of a leeway in how they're doing it. And again, the first section: fire attack, deploy inch and 3/4 line, conduct a primary search, carry ventilation equipment via a ground ladder and a roof prop to simulate a vertical ventilation. As most of you are aware, we have a burn building in summer, so we're able to do some of this stuff. I also did demonstrate brush fire tactics and chimney fire tactics because it's getting to be that season. Section 2, rescue hazmat. Demonstrate knots, and it just lists them out: half hitch, clove hitch, bowline, the figure 8 family, the figure 8 follow through, the Beckett bend, the trucker's hitch. Don our harnesses and doff our harnesses. Take our harnesses out, put them on, take them off. Simple tasks. Build a 3-to-1 mechanical advantage system using the CMC clutch and cap, though. Simple tasks. Using the Manverse machine kit, remove a ring, release a finger entrapment. Then this, again, the next part was rescue hazmat. Operate the gas meter. Explain the limitations, safe use, and common readings. Complete a confined space awareness class. Next section is SCBA. 45-second drills. Do your conversions. Show you how to use the rip pack. Again, these are not difficult skills, but at least it gives them a roadmap. The potpourri section, we did demonstrate tactics for solar panel fires. Conduct our boat operations. We have a Zodiac, so launch, recover. Review thermal imaging camera operations. Perform ice rescue operations by donning cold water exposure suit and setting up sled system. And then obviously participate in our active shooter rescue task force training. I didn't want it specific. I wanted a little bit of leeway for the officers and for the members. I just think it's a great way, especially for, one of the things that I learned the difference in the, career and volunteer. In a career department, you're always trying to get the computer happy, right? You're always trying to put training into the computer. So if 3 of you are sitting around the kitchen table, or 4 of you are sitting there, and someone comes in and you start a conversation, any good officer at that point is going to go enter it in the computer as training. You're going to put in that you pre-planned, one of the buildings, or that you discussed rope systems, or you reviewed incident the other night. And that's training. Well, in the volunteer side, I feel like we lack that, where when there's like 4 or 5 members hanging around the firehouse for a day, encourage those 4 or 5 guys to do a little bit of training. And I always say training isn't just for your meeting night, your training night. Monday nights is our training night. But if on a Thursday evening or a Thursday afternoon, there's 4 of you there, and one of them says, hey, why don't we go over those knots, or why don't we go over the harnesses? It gives more opportunity for training. The rules are simple, and either the department officers or the state certified instructors can sign off that you completed the training. It's been about 2 weeks now since we started it, and it's been going very well. I've gotten great input back from the membership of what we could put in the next 6 months. So I was very happy about that. Big 3-ring binder, printed them all out, and then I have a master copy in my office. So as I just match them up every so many days, so that if God forbid something happens, we have it. I'm not that technologically savvy, even though I'm doing a podcast, to do it. So that's about the task books. I just think they're a great way. And as always, if anybody wants a copy of the homework, the task books, just shoot me an email. I'll gladly send it to you. I'm not one of those people. The other chiefly thing I've been doing is I got a new vehicle. I just went with a Ford Explorer, the cop car. I wasn't really trying to go with anything crazy, but for my command council, I'm not. I have a hard time spending the amount of money that you need to spend to buy a proper command console. So I'm just building my own, a little bit of plywood, a couple of the little tough drawer systems from Lowe's, and throw it together. I'm very simple. I don't really need much in the back of my car. And that's it. The only other thing that I did over the summer was I went to the International Association of Fire Chiefs, the I-Chiefs convention. It happened to be in Orlando, which is a happy accident for me. And I attended the chief track, or their chief seminar, which was very good, a day-long program. We talked a lot about recruiting and retention and succession planning, both obviously in the career and the volunteer departments. So that was a good day seminar. It's a good conference if you get the chance. And then a couple of weeks ago, it was early this year. It was changed up a little bit. I did the Fire EMS Pro Expo, which is now in Mohegan Sun Casino in Connecticut. For those of you in the New England, New York area, I highly, highly recommend that conference. I think it's one of the best conferences around. They have a great selection of both vendors and education and training. So that's always something that it's usually closer to Halloween. I know they had to change venues this year. They went to the other casino for more space, which is a good thing. So they had to have it a little bit earlier in the year. So that's it. It's been about 15 minutes now. I like to keep my potpourri one short because you can only listen to me go on for so long. One giant guest announcement is back by popular demand. We'll have Mike Whittick. He's a big hit of the show. So he's going to come on soon. He was my first guest, and he'll be back on. Like I like to have him on every year. As always, if you're interested to be on the show, shoot me an email. That's how I get a lot of the people on the show. I'm working on my states. I'm going to start reaching out to some people. Fire me off an email. It's thevolleychief@gmail.com. TheVolleyChief@gmail.com. And don't forget, most importantly, like you have to say in all these videos, like, subscribe, smash that button, do whatever it is you have to do, but help me feed the social media machine that keeps this show going and keeps my engagement coming in. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook, so please follow those social media pages as well. Till next week, be safe. Have a good night. FD1's back in service. Commands terminated.